Hello and welcome back to Path of Exile 2. This is going to be a detailed guide. We're going to go into very specifics on a Gemling tank that I've rolled up. He's level 89, so he's got a few passive points that he'll still be getting. He has 53, almost 5400 life, 360 energy shield, 100 spirit. We have an a vulnerability aura that automatically procs and hits everything and makes him vulnerable, taking away 7,000 armor, I think, around there. And we'll go from here. So let's do a quick demo of a tier 17 if I can find one. A tier 17 breach if we can find one. Okay. I want to do that one, but it's a hidden grotto. I like doing breaches in wide open areas. So I'm going to do a tier 16. This would be a tier 17, a 16 as well. I need to find one with irradiated and that on there. We'll just do this one. It'll be a tier, if you hover over it, or right here, it raises the monster level by 1. So 15 becomes a 16. But I wanted to do a tier 17. Also, this takes away maximum resistances of 10. That's not going to be good. But, oh well. So we're sitting at cap right now. We'll see what it does. Bring it up and jump in. Gleaming Springs. I like this one because it's wide open. You want a big, wide open as much as possible area for breaches. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh boy. I'll try to keep the map dimly lit, but I mean, it's just not, it's not very good. Let's find a breach and we'll go right to it. I should probably cut this out, but we'll show a little bit of the normal gameplay. But I want to find the breach. The breach is the most fun. But yeah, I like doing this too. So here's a whatchamacallit, a rare. Do it that way. I can drop a hammer. My hammer refresh time is only, where is it? Right here. 30 seconds, 34 seconds, and I've got 2 of them, so that's pretty cool. Grab that and we'll keep going. All right, I'll be right back. Yeah, our resistances are all 75 now, or 65. Not good. Okay, so here's the breach. I just kind of look around it a little bit because I want to be able to. Oh, is he a rare? I don't want to have to deal with a rare. This will pretty much die pretty quickly anyways in there. I just want to find a nice way to run with the edges. So here we go. Drop this on here, open this, and it kind of drops on them right away. There's a splinter. I'll go a little bit this way, maybe. Drop on that. Oh, this guy's beaming me in the face with a thing there. This guy's going to be a tough guy. I'm going to take the 15.
Who's next?
Who's next? I just jump like this. I see the clasp hands. I aim for them. I'll take the map off for a second. Oh, I got something out of there. I kind of need it though to steer around the mountains, or you know, the hills. I wish they had a way to, I don't know, adjust it for bright and light maps. I just jump along. Oh, I was on a hill there, kind of jumping in the face. Whoa. I'll push a heal, but it doesn't really matter. I heal from jumping on things. That's where the vast majority of my heals come from. Not bad, not great. A decent breach. Nice. Alright, I'm going to collect these up, and I'll count how many we get out of here. Also, there's a key under the keybinds. I forget which one it is, but it'll readjust it so that if something you can't grab is out of reach there, it'll bring it back into range. Also, if I forget something, it'll be in the description down below. The description or a pinned comment if I forget something really crucial to the build, which there's a lot to it, so we'll get into it. And I use Neversink's item filter. You can download it off of his GitHub, and that way you can see the little dots where the breaches are. Like these things shows up on the mini map. And I was like 10 breaches. How many do I have on me? Oh, it looks like I turned it into a breach stone, so I must have hit 300. It's a decent amount, almost like a divine, I think. But I'll have to check. So this build just jumps around. I have a bunch of, what do you call it, life leech on attack hits, and it just heals me really fast. Nice. Okay, we'll drop a hammer on this guy. Nice. And that's the map. I could go finish. There's 49 more creatures here, but I want to get to the rest of the video. Let's go over that. So at that rate, 5 of these maps would get us there. 6 of them. About 6 of these maps would get us there. We're 3 bars in, 15%, 13%. Yeah, 6 of them would get us there. Pretty close. And if we irradiated it, it would only be like 5 of those maps because it would be a tier 17 and we get better EXP in there. Okay, so let's look at the rest of this. Or I could have evolved it and hoped for a tier 16 to turn it into a tier 16 map as well. Let's sell off that breach stone. I think I have one already, or I can just buy another one. And we want ults for it. 60 to 1. What about divines? 1 to 1? Is that really the ratio? No. We'll do the exalts then. It looks like 60 to... Oh, that's fine. Oh, easy.
Hello.
Come on, don't mess it all up. Oh, it didn't. Just have to click on both of them. Place order. It should come through. Nice. We'll get there. There it is, right there. You right click, it takes it all out. Beautiful. There's going to be a Mobalytics link in the description as well. Maybe even pinned comment. So that'll show all the gear. You can look at all the gear and the Atlas tree. Let's take a look at our, not our Atlas tree, but our passive tree. And then I'll just show you this one. I take a bunch of, I just want waystones. Sadly enough, I need waystones. And this is how you can get them. You could go for over here and get some increased rarity too. That helps. But I went for anything waystone related. All of this, all this. I probably should take this next. And I think, yeah, I've got my 30 at 30 points. And then the boss stuff, it just increases over here. I went with increased rarity of drops. And as you kill bosses in the higher levels, it starts to unlock these things. You have to have these assigned. And then you'll get points as you kill bosses in higher level areas. Okay, let's see. I think that's good for that one. And I'll just let you look at that. And then let's go over the gear next. I'm going to hover over it if you want to do it that way without clicking to the link. This is a 174 strength. We're a Gemling Legionnaire, but we're using maces. We're basically a Gemling tank. I'm really close. I'm to the point where I can actually hit the 212s. I can start looking at 212s. And the strength requirement is 212, but I can reduce that with the Gemling talents. And on the tree, I can reduce that number or just flat out try to hit 636 strength and be able to do it that way too. There's a couple different ways you can approach it. You'll be balancing this and swapping back and forth, but a 174 is very much more approachable, and you'll be able to equip that much more easily when you use Giant's Blood. Giant's Blood is the passive, and I'll show you that. That allows you to use a shield or 2 of these. I've tried to use 2 weapons on there to up my damage and get to scale up the melee levels, and it just seems to. It shows on your sheet when you right click on here. It shows on here way lower when I put in another similar weapon, same DPS, but you know, added melee levels. Just goes down. I don't know how they're doing the calculations. I don't trust it too much, and a shield is nice, and there's other things we can do. You know, the shield's pretty nice to have too, so that's what I went with so far. And damage is not really too much of an issue right now, especially if I can go up to a 212. It'll be a non-issue whatsoever, so it'll be super easy. All right, so there's that one. I'll let you look at this. On your gear, because I'm using this one, I have to have 51 min dex and int. But the rest of the gear, I just look for strength only, especially if you're not going to be using this. This armor, watch what it does to our life over there. 531. I take this off. That's 1,000, almost 1,000 life because of that one thing where it's, and this cost a divine, I think. So a divine plus probably like, I don't know, like 30 exalts for these gems in here too. So that's what I went with. But you could do something else. You could put 4 whatever. You could put 4 fire gems if you wanted to, or something in there. But that's why I use this. It gets the chaos issue solved, and it's almost 900 life. Then we'll go on from here. So I'm looking for strength, and then I just look to balance my strength, life, and I make sure it doesn't have a dex or a int requirement generally. If ideally you want to have a very, very, very low dex and int requirement, because it's going to strip away. You're going to be assigning points to dex and int, which lowers your strength, which lowers your health, which also makes it harder to hit the 174 if you're working your way up. So the 174 times 3 requirement. Shield, I just look for one that has block chance on it with strength, and then again your mix and match of your resistances. What I try to do is if I spot a piece of gear that doesn't have, that has something on it, let's see, like this one, what wouldn't I want on there? The armor is like, it's kind of optional. Here's one, the 71 mana, that does me absolutely no good, so this needs to be replaced. It's just probably tricky to replace it. It's doable to be replaced, but you know, there's still work to be done on this character for sure. So there's the shield. Here's the amulet. Now, amulets, when you go to anoint them, I went with Titanic. If you hold down Alt, Titanic increases my strength by 5%. Beautiful. I like that. I like the stun buildup, and I like the stun threshold. But the 5% strength is why I went with Titanic. It's a little bit of an expensive one. And let's go take a quick look at it. Titanic is over here somewhere. Here it is. So instead of having a path all the way over to it and grab it, I grab it that way. And if you hold down Alt, it'll tell you that it's Despair, Paranoia, and Guilt. So Despair, Paranoia, and Guilt, I have some in here. And then I just look at my thing here and I say, okay, there's Guilt, but I probably don't have Despair, Paranoia. Those are more expensive. So it's going to be an expensive Anoint. And then once you have all 3 of those in line, just right click it and then put your item in there. Wow, I can still equip my... And then you put Despair, Paranoia, and Guilt in there, and it allows you to anoint it. If it's corrupted, it can't be anointed right now. So that's a little bit of a trick too. So don't buy something that's already corrupted. Here's the rings. Strength. A little bit of attack. I would prefer more physical attack on there, but the rings have the leech on there. Not only that, but I qualityed up the leech because it's a physical mod. I went in and I used, put that back there. I used, where are they? These things. These are cheap. Just get it up to 20% on your rings, and that'll raise your leech percentage up. And if you have physical attacks on there as well, it'll raise that mod as well. You just right click on your thing and to get it up to 20%. And then here's another ring. Nice. And what is it? Accuracy. I don't need that on there, so that's a wasted thing. The 3% lightning damage, that's a wasted thing. So I'm looking for wasted mods. These are all areas for improvement to buy better items. Similar to this one needs to be replaced as well. So you can see there's a lot of room for improvement on this character by far. I want a second slot here, but the thing is, you really need a lot of strength, and life is nice too. A lot of strength and life. So we're going on through here. This one needs to be replaced with a 2-slot ring so that I can use 2 charms on there. So we can, I used the magic find on there on the kills. Hopefully it triggers both. I haven't tested that yet. Then you want to have at least 25% movement speed. 30 would be better. 35 would be great, I think. Strength and life on here too. Let me explain this one a little bit better. This is like probably a divine on the auction house right now on the trade website, which is Path of Exile 2.com, and then just hit the trade site, and then you'd look for this item and whisper the person, give them a divine, probably. And I went with Chaos. Now, I think if it's already set up like this with 4 things, it's only divine, it's probably really worth it. Otherwise, just go with a strength, high armor, maybe some energy shield on there if you want. No energy shield. Try to stay away from that. Then you won't need the min, dex, and int requirements. That's what I went with. With the flask, it's not even qualityed up, is it? But I went with one of the flasks that says the 15% of my mana is removed, because I don't remove mana, or I don't use mana, and I'll show you why when we go over the passive tree. This right here probably could be qualityed up. Let's see, how many of these do I have? Not very many, only 9. Let's use one for fun. Well, now it's 1802. Ideally, I'd probably want one that says that 20% of this flask is used instantly. That's probably a little better. But the thing is, as my health pool grows, that instant isn't really that much. So I went with this one instead, because as this health pool grows, it's going to go even higher. So it's a little tricky here. So I went with this one. But you can go with an instant one, or if your belt has instant on there, I would have loved if the belt had instant on there and then use this, because then you'd get a 360, a 400 plus insta heal, which is still okay. And that's an implicit on your belt. Mine just didn't have one. It had a bunch of cold on there. Yeah, I need to replace this stuff. I have to work through it. So that's all the gear. And then you can also mix and match in, if you want, you'd swap into maybe a less life type situation. Sacrifice some life for and some strength. I don't need this 600 strength right now with this weapon. So you can swap over to Magic Find gear. So I've got that. And this is my Magic Find gear that I swap into if I want to go for more Magic Find and get more loot, versus maybe trying to level up. So I've got that set up. And ideally I'd have like about 4 or 5 pieces here that are similar, but are focused on Magic Find instead. And I think they're gonna nerf Magic Find in the future anyway. So I don't think we'll need to do that. All right, so that's the gear, and it will be a Mobalytics link as well. As soon as I got to go there and make that and add it to the description. All right, next up, if you're having trouble, I believe you can go to the trade chat channel and actually look for a carry for your 4th ascendancy. Right now I don't need it, but I could, because I don't need the 4th ascendancy quite yet. If I do, at first you're just going to go like this with your ascendancies as you're leveling up, and you can level up, and I did level up with Leap Slam and Rolling Slam. That's all I used. Then Hammer of the Gods I got at like 52, I think. But this one lowers the gem requirements. Well, it actually uses my strength to meet the gem requirements, but I don't think I actually use... Oh, I actually do use one of them. And I'll show you what that is. It's pretty cool, actually. The aura requires like 113 int. So this is how this allows me to use that aura. And then increased attributes, and then this one. This makes it so normally you get, I think, 2 health per strength. Well, this gives you 4 health per strength. So if you're taking a node for this, your health goes up by 20 instead of 10. So that's how you can stack up more and more health. This helps with health. Better than the Titan Warrior one, because that's only 15% more on top of what you have. This one just works out better. I can scale strength up even higher too. There's ways to do it with jewels, but they're expensive, like 50 divine or more. So that's what I worked on here. And then I just grabbed this quality, and I'll show you why on the gear, on the gems, when we go over gems, the skills, why the quality, I went with that for now. Okay. So when you're first starting out, you just come down in here. You might as well grab this one. It's nice to have. And then you just come back. Don't grab these until later, until you feel comfortable with it. Because on your gear, see how that attack speed is there? You're going to need attack speed on that. I forgot to mention that. Do I have attack speed on this? I do. So it's nice to have on there. But attack speed here and attack speed here is very, very helpful. It makes the leap slams smoother. You can just jump, jump, jump versus jump, and then jump, jump. Nicer. And then we came right down into here. This is an area of effect. Zone. And then I just came right down here, and I wanted more more damage against heavy stun creatures and some more area of effect. So I came back up this way. If once you get a decent body armor as you're leveling up, I came in here and got that. And then you can go over here and get this if you want. And then you just work your way down here. And I came across, I don't have it, too many aftershocks on I don't have aftershock on my leap slam, so I didn't take this one, but it's nice if you do have an aftershock on it. You can go here and get this increased area of effect. There is aftershock here and here as well. Okay. So then at this point, you're not going to go for Giant's Blood. There's three things that you're kind of like eyeing early on. Giant's Blood gives you the ability to do that, to use the shield. There are some unique gloves that give you the ability that grant you Giant's Blood from like level 1. So they might be an Exalt. They're cheap. So go ahead and that's a possibility, but I don't get Giant's Blood until a little bit later. So I go no shield. And you come along here, and this is what gets rid of accuracy. Now I can't be my hits can't be evaded, so I don't need accuracy, but I don't do any critical hits. But that's okay because your crit is like 5% in the very beginning anyways, and you could probably stack it if you wanted to, but I just do nice consistent damage without the random spike. I don't count on random spikes. I like things being smooth and easy throughout and not rely on some lucky hit. So this gets rid of all my accuracy needs, which are, it's tough to keep up with when you're, you need a lot of accuracy when you're level 90. So it's just tough. And then you just work your way over here, and sooner the better you get to blood magic, your life improves dramatically. You don't have to use any mana. It just comes out of here. What does this cost? 549? Well, if you don't have blood magic, you're sitting there struggling. You're like, oh, I need more mana on my pieces. Mana, that doesn't help me. I want to just... You see 549 out of here. It comes back really fast, so yeah, I just... this is not... Get Giant's Blood and you'll be loving it. And then, quite often, I'll be like mixing and matching. I'll take away a little bit of strength. I'll add a little more damage over here. So I'm coming down this way, and I come up for area of effect if I've killed recently. And when I'm hopping from group to group, I have been killing recently. You can also get your recently things right here, the attack speed. You could go this route. I don't, but you could go that route instead of this route. Or you could do both if you want. If you want really to get attack speed, if you've been hit recently. This requires me to be hit recently. And sometimes I'm not getting hit very often. I'm just landing and destroying the whole groups. But that's another option. So I went through here. And then for damage. And this is going to be on the Mobalytics thing too. So then let's take a look. So we've gone through here. Then we go over here and we get Giant's Blood. Or you buy the unique gloves that grant it to you. And then now that you have blood magic, then this thing doesn't matter, so you might as well take theirs. There's no downside to this. So I've got, the max mana doesn't matter. So I take all that, and I have a lot of strength, so that's, what is that, 10, that's 40 increased damage. 40% increased damage, just with 600 strength, so it's pretty cool. And then we'll keep going. And then, so this is a pretty easy, this is AoE, you'll work this in as you want. I come in here, I grab this one, and this one. So I grab those two. There's a lot of strength right here, 15 strength, so it's nice to be able to zap up and get this. But then, be able to start really unlocking things. You're going to come down here, and for instance, I could probably back out of some of these, but you're going to be mixing and matching, meaning you'll be refunding and then taking these, balancing them out. But this is a really good one. 10% increased attributes. That's huge. So you're going to work your way over here. And then you're also going to work in Life Leech, this unreserved. So once Life Leech lasts, by default, it lasts about a second. And let's say you're over leeched, but you're still getting hit. So you hit something, it hits your cap, your leech is gone normally, and then you're still getting hit. Well, this node allows it to be unreserved and still leeching from the previous leeches. It just makes it so this kind of stays full more often. And then more damage and increased amount of life leech. Now my life leech, we can pull that up. We'll pull that up in a second. So this all helps life leech. Like faster life leech. Actually, like it's slower, but oh well. So good, all good here. At one point I had a 44% life leech because I just had the gear that I had on helped. It was just how it worked out. And this is a bunch of AoE as well. And you'll be mixing and matching, meaning refunding, and then you'll be doing that a lot to balance as you level up, to balance whatever your strength needs are, all kinds of things, or damage or life or whatever it is. And then you'll kind of settle in at the end. Let's take a look. Life, our leap slam. Where is it? Right here. 29% of physical attacks. I get 30%, basically 30% back. It is really nice when you're doing. This is not the real damage because it doesn't take into effect. Let's see. Support. I have heft on there. That does. But this one, 40% more damage if I'm moving. You want to leap further, and I get a more multiplier. So that's not 22%. It's way more than this. There's the more area of effect. That's nice. And then fire infusion does the attack damage. I don't have brutality on here. I probably could, and then get rid of this fire thing. I could mix and match. You could do brutality. I'll let you figure it out. But we're gonna go over all these in a second. But that's the life leech, and that's how when I land on big groups, that's how I destroy things. So that's the passive tree. Nothing fancy about it. You're just gonna work your way through in this area. You're gonna come down here. You can skip this until later. That's worth getting probably. And then you're gonna work through over to this, and then over to this, and then work in more damage and AoE. Get your giant's blood. Grab this for your there's no downside. And then work your way over here. Grab these. This is what's going to start to allow you to this is the key thing here. If I took this one, and this one next, it'll reduce the requirement of those 212s a lot. The 212 weapons, because normally it would require 636 strength. So what is that? Plus the I'm looking at 16% reduction, so 60, 90, like 100, I can get away with maybe 500 and something, 520 versus 626, 636. So it's a big difference. That's how you reduce the requirement. Or if you can find a 212 with a reduced requirement on it as well. But that's a way to do it. Nice. All right, I think that covers the tree. If I go with my fourth one, it would be here, and I think not that one. I could go this way on it, on my fourth ascendancy, so I could go like this here. This would be nice, but that's okay. That's okay too. That'll help for defenses. But it would be nice to be able to use the same support gems on multiples. Maybe then I could do like double brutality. It just makes things a little bit easier. But this is the quality. And then let's go over the gems and let's hope I don't forget quality. You want a quality or up your gems. It's going to cost 2 exalt per, so 8 exalts to get a 20 quality. But quality up almost all the gems that you use, the skill gems they use, they all have their benefits. And they make a big difference. So let's do gems next. Skill gems. So you can just right click and bring them up. I don't raise my shield ever. I don't use this ever. Some people use this alone by itself and just attack that way. They just use that with some AoE. It hits pretty hard, and you can improve it to hit even harder. But the leap slam is pretty cool. All right, so and that might be a possibility. I might swap from rolling slam, but rolling slam on its second hit versus dazed, it does a 50% more, I think. Yeah, that's a big hit multiplier. Now, I have quality of 20% plus another 12%, so 32% quality. So my daze build up, where it dazes them and makes it easier for me to stun things, is 80% of my physical damage when I use this. It's pretty nice. All right, so leap slam, what I have on it, it's a level 19 weapon, but see how it's a 28 because I get 6 levels. So when you're looking for gear, these melee levels, they are ultimately important. All of a sudden you'll find a cheap weapon, and you're like, oh, this is going to be an upgrade in damage. It doesn't have any melee skills on it, and you're like, I'm doing less damage? This is terrible. Gotta have, it goes up to 7 on a two-hander. Getting 2 of those would be nice, but I don't have that. And then on your gloves, I got 2 levels on my gloves. Did I get 2 levels on my, no, only 1 level on my amulet. I think that goes up to 2 as well. I could be wrong, but I think it goes up to 2. So that's how I get 20 skill level 28. There's a chart online that shows the different damage results from, skilling up past 20. It goes up to 40, and it's at least, I don't know, it's 3 times as deadly. It's a lot. I'd have to look at the chart again, but it's on one of the Wikipedias for PoE2 under Leap Slam, and it just shows the gem, and then you expand it, and you look down at the level 40, and it'll show you what it does, and you can kind of get an idea how this scales. So, quality up your gems using the gem cutters prisms that you find, or buy them off of the market here for 2 exalts each. Leap Slam, what is the it does 30% more damage against fully broken. I don't have any fully broken effects on my character to break armor, so I don't get the more damage multiplier. But just in case, I threw it down there just in case I end up with some ability to do that. Martial tempo, attack speed's got to go on this. Without it, it feels clunky. And then heft is just straight up more damage, and it's a cost multiplier, but that's okay. Notice how that doesn't have a cost multiplier to its normally mana, but in our case life. That's okay. I used the perfect, I think it was a perfect jeweler's gem, the jeweler's orb, to get to open up this last slot. They cost, I don't know, 2.5, 3 divines now. I did find one, but I sold it, so you notice I don't have it on here. Eventually I'll put it on here, and then I can get another one on there. We have momentum, heft, martial tempo, magnified effect, makes sense, and then I just put this one on here. There's not a lot of choices. I could put brutality on here. If I did, let's see what happens. 23 versus 22, and then I have to worry about fire damage. I like this one. This is fine. And then for rolling slam, quality it up, and then we went with execute. So anything under 35% life, I think, counts as low life. So we do 40% more damage. Then we have brutality, but I can't do chaos or elemental damage, but that's okay. This one doesn't do any of that. Let's see. Oh, that. Oop. First slam. There we go. Shows what it does. And the leech should be on here too. 29%. Cool. And daze, physical buildup, stun buildup, on kill effects. There's the rarity. I'm sitting at 24%. If it's a rare, it would also trigger that. Hopefully. Who knows? Close combat. I figure everything's kind of closer with this, so that's okay. And then we finished off with a chance at an aftershock. Nice. Now, if I get that other ability to use the second one, 2 gems of the same type, I'd probably put like, I don't know, like I would get a 6 slot, maybe put martial tempo on this one so I could swing faster, and some heft. That would be cool. I'd like that. But I have to unlock my next ascendancy. The first 3 ascendancies, I did the Sekimas very easily. I did the ultimatum very easily, and then I did the third Sekima's trial, the sanctums, very easily. And I just used honor resistance and honor increased honor. So I had like, I don't know, like 7,000 or 8,000 honor, and it was easy. I finished with hardly ever getting hit, and it was very easy to do. Not bad at all. Hammer of the Gods, I still don't even, I mean, look at this. I could improve this one a lot too. There's a lot I can improve on this character, so you can see there's a lot of room for improvement yet. Hammer of the Gods, I went with Second Wind. That unlocks the second, now, see how that number 2 is right there? So I get 2 uses of it. It's pretty cool. Very useful. I like it. And then Heavy Swing. And then I don't mind the less attack speed because I don't do this one very often, so I just plunk it down, and then Splinters. This actually does break some armor, so yeah, so that would help on the leap slam, but I don't usually, whatever I'm using this on is dead pretty fast, so it doesn't really. I could probably figure out something better to put on there, but oh well. Shield charge. Did we improve it? What's the quality do? I did not improve this one. Increased cooldown recovery rate by 10%. Let's see if we can improve that right now. Do I have the gems? 1. Let's go buy some. And to make it easier to buy some, like this.
Hello.
Currency exchange. And then I put this here. Control left click. And I want, so we'll remove this. I don't know, I'll take 4 of them. So sure, why not? And place order. Probably not a good, I got some back, so yeah. It was just slightly more than 2 per. And now we're gonna go back into here. Shield charge is this one. And we'll just go right click, hold down shift, and I should be able to get this. Let's see what the cooldown is currently at. Shield charge's cooldown is 2.05 seconds. Hold down shift and shield charges. And now 1.92 seconds. Oh well. Every little bit helps. And then ingenuity does a better cooldown as well. Sometimes you can put a quality on these too. There's one I put a quality on, I thought. Yeah, this one, vulnerability. Increased effect of the curse. Let's do it. Is it still going to be there? Let's see. Yes. That, sure. Unfavorable trade. Oh. Warned me. We'll remove the. Okay, for some reason the voice cut out right there, so I'm going to do my best to re-record this portion of the video. And we got it down to the shield charge down to where was it? Right here, 1.92. So let me go to the next part, and we'll see if I can fix this from here on out. Okay, the next tricky part. If we turn off both of these by right-clicking on them, the Herald of Ash and that, and I'm going to move this up here like that. We have 100 spirit to work with. That's what you should end the campaign with. You should also make sure that you have, if you take off all your gear, I think it's a minus 40 on all your resistances. So if you're at minus 50, you missed like one of the resists, like a lightning resist in the Spires of Deshar or something like that. That happens. So just double check that too. So let's turn this back on. And this is under the Witch. So what we did was, to get this, it's basically a blasphemy. It allows me to have a permanent aura. And I also want to, it's a vulnerability aura. And I want to quality this one up as well, because if I hold down Alt, it shows 16% increased effect of the aura, which is nice. So you'll get like 10%, but I got 16% because of we're a Gemling so far. And that takes away over 7,000 armor from every creature I hit. Really nice to have that on. So let's show you how to get that one right here. We're going to go into our Gem tab. And we're going to type in Spirit. That'll filter it down. I have a, not spit, well, Spirit. And I just grab one of these. Right click. It's under Witch. And it's right here. And then you pick it, engrave it. And now it doesn't cost anything, but it has a requirement of 178 int. That's why I can't do this on my my Warrior Titan, because I don't have 178 int. It's impossible for me. So let's put that back away and that away, and we'll even put these up here. Now I have that on. Let's bring this up again. Then I did vulnerability as a support for it, and it costs mana to cast it, but I don't use any mana, so it's a non-issue. So it's free for me because of blood magic. Then we have cannibalism on there, and I put it with this one because it reduces the cost of the cannibalism. See this one right here? We'll turn this Herald of Ash back on. Right now I have 7 left over. If I take this off, I have 19. So this only costs 12 spirit to use this one. Pretty nice. Maybe I'll be able to work something else into this eventually. So that's the setup here. Then the other jewel is right here with Herald of Ash. And what that does is ignites the surrounding enemies during an overkill. Now, what I don't quite understand about this is I have 3%. You'd normally get 20% as from qualitying this up. That line about ignite the surrounding enemies if overkill damage is at least 3%. Well, you would hope it would ignite them if it's 1%. So increasing the quality of this, does it make it worse? I don't know. I'm a little confused about this. This is the buff that it gives. And right here, surrounding enemies overkills at least 20%. Maybe this is an override, but still, then why would that? I don't know. But anyways, there's the explosion. Radius 1 meter, and that probably scales up. Does it? Let's see if it shows it over here. Area of effect on... Oh, no, that's on shield charge. Let's see if we can get this over here. See some data on it. No data. Oh, there it is. Explosion. Let's dive into this. Oh, there's the radius, 1.2 meters, so it doesn't look like it scales up. But without it, I don't have that big fiery explosion stuff. So it's nice. Chill duration, really? And then the buff. Overkill threshold, 23%. So it's adding that to it. Very strange. Very, very strange stuff. This is not very clear to me, at least. Oh well. So let's go down here, and there's nothing else. Now, if we can go back up, Imagine if you had, for some reason, this skill, does it show it over here? This skill right here in synergy with this. This one right here? No, that's not it. There's a way to make this scale up and explode too. I might look into that in the future, but there's a way to scale it up, and it shouldn't be scaling, but it is, and until Grinding Gear Games fixes it, we could probably use it. But I might look into something like that too. So, I think this covers the gems. It's a very simple setup. We'd leap slam, we rolling slam, and then you have your hammer of the gods. That's all I do. I mean, I shield charge around. This is automatically on, and this is automatically on. I don't want to push a lot of buttons. I rarely heal. I could probably get away with no healing, but there's no benefit to not having that on there. Yeah, I don't use this button ever. I never do it. Don't use Radius Shield. I don't even know why that's on there. We could probably go like that for now. Pretty simple stuff. I don't use weapon swapping. There's some tech that you could do where I could get into some weapon swaps, but for right now, don't need to do it. Mostly maybe for like bossing to switch to single target swapping, because you can actually swap your gear by holding up, pulling up the map in during a boss fight, or pushing, I think, your atlas or your skill tree, your passive tree. And then you could switch over your gear to the second one, and that would count as a second one. Or you could just buy a second set too, and then you could switch it over and have some specific single target damage set up to your gear, and then go the other way. But I don't want to. I have no problem with the bosses. So I haven't done the pinnacle bosses. You got to find a realm gate. I haven't even found a realm gate yet to fight Zesh, so it's tough there. So I think we covered that. Let's go over jewels lastly. We'll bring up the passive tree. And here's the jewels. Basically what I'm looking for is area of effect and either mace, global, or melee damage. And if I hold down Alt, you can see it goes up to 16. So a high melee damage, meaning mace damage or melee or global. And then there's the other two. So this is a prefix. You're gonna have area of effect on a prefix, and then increased mace damage or melee or global damage as a prefix on here, and then you're gonna get two suffixes. The ignite should work or help. It's a little hard to prove because everything just blows up. And then the increased life leech. I like that one because it increases our life leech. So I got one here. That one I had rage on it, so I have to replace that. Life regen is okay, but I don't really want that on there either. But they're fine. It's not the end of the world. And area of effect, there's the maces. What did I have on this one? Did I have global fizz? What does that scale up to? 15%. Okay. So maybe maces is the best one. Who knows? Global fizz. So room for improvement on all these too. You can see there's quite a few of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jewels. And I'll hover over it again. 20%, 16, 9. I think it goes up to 10 on the goes up to 10. Oh, 15 on the life leech. So there's plenty of room for improvement on these things too. It's really amazing. If I can get some more life leech percentage wise, if I can get all those really well rolled, then I could go with one less life leech over here. Maybe get rid of that one, and then it would free up some item rarity or stuff like that. So there's always room to improve. I hope I've covered everything. I think I did. Jewels, passive trees, gear, qualitying up items, anointing your amulets, all that kind of stuff. And the next thing I'll be adding is the chapters along at the bottom. And then after I add that, I'll add the Mobalytics link. If only a few people like this video, I mean, it won't matter, then I won't do the Mobalytics because it's not that complicated. But if a lot of people are watching the video, then I should do a Mobalytics link for this build. But if nobody even likes Gemlings, then, you know, it's a lot of work to do a mobile Linux link right now. It's not like Path of Building or PoE Ninja, where I can just do a link. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So I hope this helps. Have a good one, guys, and enjoy. And I like dipping around. Oh, we got a slightly faster shield charge now. Come on. And I don't like the into the blink. I don't like that into a blink for some reason. I just didn't like it that much. So we'll see what happens, and have a good one. Enjoy, guys. Cool. And I think I'm going to be doing a hardcore solo self-found series next as a challenge. I just like the idea of that. I've never done hardcore. I've done lots of solo self-found, and I've done lots of ruthless. So this will be pretty much that, except hardcore, and oof, dying means you start over from scratch, except for the stuff in your stash. So that'll be the key there. Okay, have a good one. Enjoy, guys. Cool.